So protein is everywhere, basically. It's in plants, it's in animals. Matter of fact, most carnivores get their protein from plants. I mean, when you think of a lion, he eats cows or bulls, whatever, in Africa.
Yeah, yeah.
The bulls eat grass to
Yeah.
get the protein. So it's just a different source, a different method of creating protein in your body. Uh, but there is protein in plants. Flax, legumes are known to
Yeah.
be high in protein.
Yep.
Garbanzo beans, beans,
Yeah,
lentils, tofu, soy, and nuts are a great source of protein. And grain, wheat, it's also a great source of protein. So protein is everywhere. But we're gonna move into putting the ingredients. I have two here, chocolate chips. These are vegan. They're from a brand called Enjoy Life, if you care for that.
But what's the difference between a vegan chocolate chip and a non-vegan chocolate chip?
So most chocolate chips contain milk. Most.
Oh.
So we got vegan chocolate chips, and then we got dates and walnuts already
Yummy.
chopped.
You didn't grow up vegan,
No.
and in fact, Mexican culture is full of non-vegan ingredients.
Yes and no. Because of colonization and because of the Europeans coming to this continent, they bring in animals, grazing animals,
Yep.
cows, sheep, goats. Uh, I think a lot of people adapted to the Spanish foods, and they kind of mix them together with our cuisines, which are more Native American, I want to say. So that's one aspect. The other aspect would be like, in reality, our cuisine as Latin Americans, or yeah, I want to say Latin Americans. I'm from Mexico. We're part of Latin America. We rely a lot on veggies, corn being a big staple
Yeah.
for us,
Yeah.
chilies, which spicy food, and beans. And occasionally they used to hunt, maybe get a turkey, maybe get a deer, fish, frogs, insects, which to this day we still
Yeah.
eat in Mexico.
And that's a lot of protein.
Yeah, indeed, they have a lot of protein too. Cricket powder is being used nowadays.
But modern, let's call it modern or traditional today, Mexican food is not known for
being vegan.
not having meat and a lot of,
true.
milk products and fat that comes from animals. And that's what you grew up with, right? Or not?
I think it really depends where you're from, Andres.
Yeah?
Central Mexico, it still, I think, retains a lot of its native. I'm not saying all of them,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously. But I mean, growing up, I remember my grandma always had beans, black beans,
Oh, okay. So,
coffee, which is not from Mexico originally, it's from Africa, chilies, like salsa, and tortillas.
yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So, but I am interested in how you became vegan, or why did you pursue veganism?
Yeah.
Because that wasn't part of your family, right?
No, 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 no. I became vegan after I saw a documentary that really, really made me think about the way we as humans interact with our world and the way we use certain things for our own benefit or our own existence without thinking
Yeah.
about the effects of our decision making when it comes from using soap that you can use every day to shower to food, which is where I'm at. One example will be gelatin, Jello. When you show a kid a box of Jello, he smiles and he thinks it's fun. But if I were to show you how Jello is made,
Yeah.
it would be a different story.
Yeah. It's so true.
So it all began with a documentary that opened my eyes.
Wow.
The documentary is called Earthlings, like being from Earth.
Okay.
Earthlings.
Got it.
And it's a free documentary you can watch online for free.
Hmm.
It's narrated by Joaquin Phoenix, who was a great actor.
Yeah.
That shows you the reality of how animal ingredients are produced for our consumption, for our benefit. And it really, really shows, I mean, I hate to say this, but what we're capable to do as humans.
Yeah.
How evil and mean we can be to other animals.
Wow.
And I have to say that a lot of this bad behavior or bad decisions have to do with ignorance. Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I think one part of having this place here, the Chunky Scone, it's bridging that gap,
Yeah.
opening, like I was saying in the beginning, breaking the ice.
Yeah.
like, hey, let me tell you about my company. Let me tell you about every time I have a customer here and I interact with them and I chat with them, I try to talk to them. And I don't do it in an aggressive way. Like I said, I talk to them like I'm talking to you right now. And I try to tell them, so where do you live? And so what do you do, you know? And so I kind of like, at the end of the day, I want them to live with a seed of consciousness. That's the way
Well,
I see it.
you know,
Seed
I
of
think
consciousness?
I think that some of the disruption for me, when I first met you, you brought me to the, what was it?
My 10-year anniversary.
The 10-year anniversary. And I remember, so Andres didn't tell me that he was bringing me to a vegan fair.
Oh, no?
And I was like, because you
I
were
just-
like,
I have to
you,
kinda sneak her in.
yeah, and he was like,
Surprise,
yeah,
you know.
and he was like, we're gonna eat lunch. So I always knew, I was like, I'm gonna come hungry, right? And then you brought me in and you were like, okay, this is a vegan. I was like, what? Like, I was like, what are we gonna eat, you know? And so the reason I say that, Oscar, is because you talked about how you think that it's through ignorance that people don't. I think it's also two other things, and you said it earlier. I don't think it's gonna taste good, you know?
Right.
And I also don't think it's accessible, meaning it seems to me, and I'm being very stereotypical, that in order for me to access vegan food, I have to go to a certain place and it's gonna be super expensive.
Whole Foods?
Yeah, and it's gonna be
It's
super
gonna be out of the way,
expensive, and
right.
it's gonna be out of the way. So for me,
And
it's like,
complicated to prepare.
absolutely, and for me, I love animals, okay? I would absolutely love, theoretically, you know, to do that. I have it in my head, not only is it not accessible, it's expensive, and I don't, you know, it's gonna be hard. So, I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts about that, because you and I talked about that a little bit, because I was like, gosh, this food is so good, I would love to do this, but this is gonna be too much.
Ignorance leads to prejudice,
You're right.
and prejudice leads to making assumptions. It's vegan. Oh, it's expensive. This guy, it's out of touch with reality. You know, he doesn't know what he's talking about. If you look at it from a different perspective, that's how I look at it. Is what is vegan? An apple is vegan. You eat apples. Everybody eats apples. Lettuce. We all eat lettuce.
I eat lettuce. I ate
Carrots.
lettuce today. I ate carrots
Lentils,
today.
soy, and you eat these products every day. I guarantee you, if you look at the ingredients of the stuff that you eat, and you look at the plant-based ingredients, I'm gonna tell you they're the majority of them.
So, like, what? I'm 80% vegan.
I would say so. We just have to
I'll
push you
have to think about that.
We have to push you to 95% now.
Yeah. Are you 100% vegan?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
And it comes not only diet. Obviously, we're talking about diet here, but to me, it's also a philosophy.
Yeah.
Because it's a way it's a perspective, you know? It's an angle from which you look at the world and say, you can, but you don't have to.
Yeah.